Well, hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's just 214 days until Christmas 2021. And today we've just got a lot of different topics to talk about. I've got some changes coming about. I've changed the thumbnail up for today and changing the template that I'm going to start using for thumbnails going forward. Try to attract maybe different viewers in. Look at some of the trends going on in YouTube and try to get the videos presented to more folks. You guys have been wonderful. I so thank you for your support. And I see we've got many of our regulars here. We've got Mark Hamilton came in right away. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more Disney Plus content. And I kind of want to discuss that today as well. And then Ducky, hello. Abby, hello, Abby. Thank you so much for coming in this afternoon. And it's K-Cow. Hey, do you remember how I said Fennec Shand would appear in episode 4? Oh, good job. You know, Santa was completely wrong. I was expecting it to go a different direction. I thought we were going to go towards meeting up with, I thought for sure we were going to meet up with Rex because of the whole chip thing and what was going on with Wrecker. But no, that's not what happened. So we'll see where that goes. Peter Grimben, hello, an irrefutable comrade. Thank you for being here. Nikki, we've got Dale Erdman. Dale's been giving me some great feedback in the videos, some comments, just some wonderful, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much, Dale, for stopping in. Mike Porter. Oh, he's at home recovering. It's good to see you here, my friend. Santa had his doctor's appointment this morning. Just my annual checkup. Things are going well. Santa's in good health. The doctor's happy. I've lost some weight lately, and Mrs. Claus and I have changed our eating habits. We're eating much healthier, a lot more fresh produce in our diet and less processed foods. So that we're feeling much better. So good to see you here, Mike. For Coachella Lopez, hello, in Callisto. Thanks so much for coming in, Callisto. Good to see you here. Yes, some of our favorite people. Park Outdoors, yo. Hey, so let's open up. I want to open up the agenda and things. You can see this is the new thumbnail. It needs some work. Admittedly, it's not there, but rearranging some pieces, changing the logo up, putting in the one we use for our opener, and then moving the headline up further to the top. Change the background color from black to blue, and then we'll mess around with the font. We'll mess around with what we put on the page, but this is a good way to at least introduce to you all. We're changing things up here at the channel just a little bit, trying to get some more views on the videos. We've been doing really well, but starting to stale out, and would like to maybe increase that. So we do have an agenda today. And I wanted to talk a little at the top about the channel changes, and we have some Discord changes coming up. Been working on maybe it seems really popular, those Discord stages. So last Friday we've been and every Friday we've been having these fantastic book discussions Friday afternoon with those folks that have been working their way through the Thrawn Ascendancy novels. And we're going to wrap that up this week. The Thrawn Ascendancy novel we're going to wrap up. But last week we talked about the Ascendancy novel briefly, and then we went into just a general Star Wars discussion. We talked about all kinds of Star Wars stuff. We talked about Lucasfilm. We talked about Filoni. We talked about you name it as it came up. And so I think we really enjoyed it. We were on there for over an hour. Oh my goodness, we were just having a lot of fun talking about Star Wars and the Lucasfilm and what's all going on. So I think this week we're going to try to roll out that Discord stage here in our channel. Many of you are familiar with it from over at the Den of Nerds, and it's starting to take hold other places as well. So we're going to go ahead and use the Discord stage for those discussions. The first few minutes, we'll be talking about some content, and we'll predetermine that from one week to the next. And as we work our way through that content, then we will then open up for just general discussion. So the first part this week, we'll be wrapping up the Thrawn Ascendancy novel, talking about how it closed up. If you don't want any spoilers, hold off. Come in about 15 minutes after it starts. So we'll plan on starting it this time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, Friday afternoon. So about 3:30 to 3:45, thereabouts, we will talk about the Thrawn Ascendancy novel. There'll be plenty of spoilers for those that haven't read it yet. And then we will jump into other discussion. And then each week we'll pick up another point of discussion. So there is another thing I wanted to bring up, and I'd forgotten about it earlier, and then I just remembered. So last week, right after Bad Batch review, I came up with this idea, and I'm stealing it completely from Burke the Nerd, but he put out a thing on his channel, just get predictions for different shows. And so I put out a thing to get predictions for the Bad Batch. What are your predictions? And it's a survey. You can go into that survey and submit your answers. And what I would encourage is that you submit multiple. You could put, I think this will happen, or I don't think that will happen, whatever the case might be. Try to put in a whole bunch of ideas of what we will see. Then let me see if I can put it in here. Yeah, here we go. So I'll put this link in the comments here. So you go out to this Google form and put in your submissions. You have until Wednesday of this week to submit those. Thursday, I will compile all of those into a survey. And then during our weekly live stream with a Magic Maker, where we review and do our predictions, we'll let you all go on and vote. And in that voting, then Friday, after the show's on, we'll see who compiles the most points. It doesn't earn you much, just lots of bragging rights. So like Ducky coming on this morning and saying, hey, I told you guys. Yeah, so we could come in and we could see who's the best prognosticator. See who's the most better at the forecasts, the predictions, and it'll be a fun way for us to interact with one another as a community. And then each week we can judge those. We can keep a leaderboard. So, right answers count for points, and we'll make sure with each question there's a yes or no or A or B, and we will see if you are if you're correct or not. And hello, Reefer Man Reviews. Hello. We've got some good content. We're going to bring that in here. The War of the Bounty Hunters content. So I do want to get to that here shortly. So we do want to try to get your votes. So we really want participation in the community, in our Discord. We're trying to make the Discord someplace where you can have fun, talk about Star Wars, and it be a friendly community. We're really working hard to build that and to kind of stay away from some of the other drama that goes on, some of the other disputes that go on. We are certainly welcome, and we have folks in our Discord that don't agree with one another. That's great, but there's a way to disagree, and there's a way not to disagree. And so we try to make it into a friendly, fun community, and we'll be trying to push everybody towards Discord all the time, with always something going on there to collaborate and have fun talking Star Wars. So please come check us out there. So the second point on here, make Solo 2 happen. We've got a group of folks out there that have been pushing for several years to get Solo 2 to happen. Today is the day that they're pushing this hashtag. If you are on social media and you use Twitter, they're encouraging use this hashtag, make Solo 2 happen. And they've got all kinds of support across the spectrum to get this going. And I think one of them is the biggest possibility isn't a Solo 2 movie. I don't think that anybody thinks that that's really where the Solo 2 movement is going, or that's what they want to get to happen, is a movie. We've already seen like Park Outdoors, right? We're getting a Lando show and the rumored Crimson Dawn Kira show. Now that's rumored, so it would be great if today on Make Solo 2 Happen day, if they could get Lucasfilm's attention, if Lucasfilm would come out and address fans' demands or desires, I should put it that way, more than demands, fans' desires, right? This movement to get content around what happened at the end of that movie. Solo, it set up something, right? If you watch that movie, if you haven't watched it, I know there's still some folks that, hey, Parzival Skywalker, hello, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, if we could get, I noticed the Today Show board, and it looks like you're already planning to discuss it in the middle of editing. Oh no, Reefer Man. Yeah. So anyway, if we could get Lucasfilm to come out and say, hey, for you fans of the Make Solo 2 movement, we've already announced this Lando show. It's going to pick up from where Solo left off, and we're going to learn more about Lando Calrissian in this era. And also, I would love to see, as we saw here, if we could get that like Park Outdoors said, the rumored Crimson Dawn and Kira show. There's also a rumored series involving, the Crimson Dawn. Sorry about that, with the Kira. So it would be great to see Maul in this time period and see Lando. And then I really would like to see, alongside that, a show following Han Solo. And I think at the very top of the show, Mark put it well, want to see Han and Chewie hijinks on Jabba's crew. Right, that interaction between Jabba the Hutt and Han before he got into trouble he was in A New Hope. It would be great to see that build out. We saw it building up towards something, and it looked like Han was going to go meet with Jabba the Hutt, maybe for the first time, and see where it was going to go. So if you want some of that content, you would love to see Disney Plus build out this portion of the timeline around Solo, the movie, with the Crimson Dawn and Kira, with Lando, and with Han and Chewie. Go to your social media and tweet out there. If you're on Twitter, tweet out there this hashtag Make Solo 2 Happen. I think that would be great. Nikki, it might be because Darth Maul's oversaturated already. You make a point. About the only character more saturated than Maul is Vader. And people are clamoring to get a Vader series, although he's been in everything. I saw a great meme over the weekend where all the different characters are wanting their own shows, and Anakin says, "Hey, I want my own show too." And they said, "The whole thing is about you, Anakin. Calm down." I know people would love to see Darth Vader, Darth Maul. Maul's oversaturated, perhaps so, but they love. He's a very popular character, and of course Ray Park got himself in trouble. So who knows what they would do with that? But I would, yeah. Disney loves Maul, and so do little kids at Halloween. They love to put on those Maul outfits. So I'm all for Make Solo 2 Happen. The next thing on here, and I brought it up because Wayne. Reefer Man Reviews. He said, I'm probably going to steal his thunder. He sent me some stuff on Discord. Again, if you follow our Discord, we've got some good stuff out there. I want to share with you guys what it says. Look at my shirt in the profile pic. It's a Han Solo shirt. Yeah, I'm down for Solo 2. Well, great. I'm going to share what Wayne sent us on the Discord, and we're going to talk about a couple of things here. and because it ties in very, very well. So he sent a picture of the inside of this War of the Bounty Hunters uh, 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 comic, and inside this, I don't know how well you guys can read it. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more for you, and just introduce what it says here. Do we want Solo 2 and 3 or just 2? Well, Parzival, it's Make Solo 2, which is really make Disney Plus series following Solo to tell the rest of the story. So it would be 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, whatever. But yes, make Solo 2 happen is the hashtag. So inside of this book, there's some interesting pullouts, and I wanted to show them here and bring it up as we talk about the next part. And the next thing was we have the Book of Boba Fett in the merchandise that you saw for the set. They've got these patches. We've seen like cruise shirts and things like that. We see it says season 1 all over it. Season 1, which means that they're planning for more than one season. So you don't have a 1 without a 2. It's a thing you learn when you're writing, right? You're doing bullet points. You don't put a bullet point if there's not 2 bullet points. You don't put a 1 unless there's a 2. You don't put an A unless there's a B. So, so here they've had in the items, in the crew stuff, in the a lot of this Reefer Man, make more Solo happen. There you go. But in this merchandise, in this stuff, you can see where it says season 1, and then the implications of that are that this is not just a miniseries like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is, right? Obi-Wan Kenobi was a movie that they decided to put on the shelf, and then they pulled it off. They're rewriting it, broke it down into a mini series. So it'll be 6 to 8 episodes, something like that, maybe 10. That is a 1-run event. So it's a limited series, not a multiple season. Because we see Book of Boba Fett season 1, that leads us to believe there'll be more than 1. And with more than 1, who might they bring in? And the implications of that and this War of the Bounty Hunters connection to maybe the Book of Boba Fett is what I was wanting to share here. So let me bring that up again and show you what it says in here. Oh, you guys, Ducky. It's called Solo by definition, or it can only be 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, you guys are terrible. What are the odds you think of Lucasfilm listens and makes Solo 2? Well, we know that the Lando series has already been announced. And if it is what we think it is, with some of the casting rumors and all of that, it is part of the Solo 2. It's a continuation of Lando's story in that time frame of Solo, the movie. If the Crimson Dawn series rumors are true at all, and we get to see Maul continue, that's a continuation directly from the end of the movie. So the only piece missing is really Han Solo himself and how much he would show up in those 2 things. So there's that. So anyway, I want to get back to this War of the Bounty Hunters quote that Wayne sent me, and it's Judge Valance. And, well, not Judge. It says Judge Valance by his looks. Now, Valance is a character that was introduced a long time ago. This is a picture back in the original trilogy era. Valance was a bounty hunter, cyborg kind of looking dude, right? This is Valance. This is who they're talking about. And it says, do you judge Valance by his looks? The cyborg bounty hunter debuted in Star Wars in 1978. So this isn't a new thing, right? People get lose their minds over all kinds of stuff. This isn't a new one. This comes all the way from 78. And while it was still in theaters, and he was clearly a villain. It goes on to say that he was kind of picked up by Luke Skywalker, and then it says the one person who stood by him at his lowest was a fellow Imperial cadet, Han Solo. So here we've got a connection between the Make Solo 2 happen and Book of Boba Fett. Han Solo. Han Solo back as the Imperial Cadet time period. We could get Valance in part of this, right? This cyborg guy said Valance would do anything to pay back that debt, including taking down a bounty hunter who has bested him in the past, Boba Fett. Oh, oh, so Valance and Boba Fett are no friends. And if the book of Boba Fett is indeed bounties or marks that right, it's Boba Fett's book of marks against people he has some vendetta against, then Valance would fit into that, would fit into there. So I think that they're setting up here perhaps a crossover where we pull in Valance from the original trilogy era, 1978 Marvel comic books for Star Wars, this bounty hunter, and pull him in. Hey, normies to nerds, hello, good afternoon. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. So if we get Valance pulled in here, he could very well be one of the marks. But there's more. So we could see perhaps if we could get this Solo series kind of get some traction, get it moving forward. We get Valance in there with Solo. And maybe get to see this on screen, right? We get it Alden Ehrenreich and this dude, right? Valance, this cyborg dude. We could get him in. And since we're talking about him, who would you guys cast as Valance? You know, Santa is terrible at fan casting. We did the Muppet casting for a long time. What actor would you get to fill in for this cyborg bounty hunter, Valance? And if we could get Solo 2 kind of movement going, if they were to actually continue with a Solo piece and we got to see Han Solo meet Valance and then build this relationship. He says, Bruce Campbell, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you guys, you're doing great. Thank you so much. So that's the first part. Always thought of him as Valance. I want to keep reading in here. So if we got Book of Boba Fett, Valance should show up in both eras, right? He could show up in the Han Solo 2 kind of era. He could also show up here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dennis Hopper. Oh, you guys haven't named the one that is that's become the meme yet. But and I handed it to you, so I'll look for that to show up. This is but here's the next part. He's got cyborg street cred. Fett isn't the only one to threat our unlikely hero. An assassin is stalking Valance and Dengar. A killer who you will soon see is willing to eliminate anyone in her path. So her path, that really zoomed in. Let me see if I can zoom back out. So anyone that gets in her path. So I think this is where Wayne was going with it, that we're going to see Fennec Shand show up in the comic. We've seen her in the animated show. We've seen her in the Mandalorian live action. And here we might get Fennec Shand in this Bounty Hunters, the War of the Bounty Hunters comic run. I think that's really where he was headed with it. But Fennec Shand could absolutely show up again in this era that's here in this run. But there's another bounty hunter I want to bring up. What time period is this? That's Reefer Man, you'll have to tell us. So the War of the Bounty Hunters, I think, Mark, you may be reading it as well. What time period is the War of the Bounty Hunters taking place in? I'm not reading that, so I'm not sure. Hey, Gray's here. She's listening. Very good. I got to get the kids from school. Very good. Yeah, Valance is in the comic Bounty Hunter. Yes. That's what brought it up, Gray. Runs with Phantoms. Hello. Thanks for stopping in. Josh Brolin. No, there's somebody that they keep putting on all of these things to get in to shows. There's another female, really strong female bounty hunter that I brought up when when let me see if I find this again. I gotta go back and find it. I think it's in. Where did you put that again? Is it in Boba Fett? I think it's in Boba Fett. Yeah. There's another bounty hunter that I think you guys may not know, and it's somebody that I think I would love to see. She's featured in the book "The Perfect Weapon" by Delilah Dawson. The bounty hunter is Batine Natal. Bazine Natal. Bazine is a ruthless bounty hunter. She's very smart. She's very capable, very ruthless kind of bounty hunter. In that book, The Perfect Weapon, it's a very short book. It's a short story. And in that short story, Bazine could be introduced. So I would love to see Bazine brought in. Aura Singh, Aura could maybe fit in. Let's see. Let me get caught back up here. Aura could maybe fit into this. I'm not sure where it's set. Okay, War of the Bounty Hunters is set between Empire and Return. So right between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's right after Empire because Boba's trying to get Solo to Jabba. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Wayne. Space Topsoil. Do you think we'll see any more Jedis this season of Bad Batch? I count on it. Count on it, Space Topsoil. First of all, I don't think we're done seeing Caleb Dune. We'll see Caleb again, and then I think for sure we will run into others. The big bet is on seeing somebody survive a fall. Right. So I think we will see more Jedi. Do you think Boba will show up in the solo projects? Well, two things there, Parzival. Do I think Boba could show up in the solo projects? Absolutely. He should and could. Well, no, wait. Let me take that back. No, Solo happens before, right? Han Solo is just joined the Empire. Boba Fett wasn't born. He'd be way too young. Boba Fett would be way too young. But do I think Boba Fett? I think Boba Fett will show up in the new series in the Bad Batch. I think Boba will absolutely show up there. Wayne says it's the first major Star Wars event in the comics that run titles going as well. So, okay, very good. So Aura Singh, I think Aura's dead. So I think we're stuck there. Yeah, very good. Very good. Runs with Fandoms. When you get monetized, I'll super chat as much. Bribes for coldest stocking. Thank you, Runs with Fandoms. I do want to address when we do get monetized. Thank you so much for your support. We have big plans once we do get monetized, so I appreciate it. Yeah, Singh is Aura is already dead by this age. Dryden Voss killed Aura Singh before Solo. Yeah, she's dead. Unfortunately, in canon, unless they decanonize the novel and put it back, but it would be tough to decanonize that novel. It's so popular. It's not stopped them before, though. You know the way that and we'll talk about it in just a little bit. Dave Filoni treats paper versus screen. It's hard to say. Yeah, Finnick is going to show up here. I think that's who the she is here. So it could be that. Yeah, you're very welcome, Wayne. Look for Reefer Man Reviews. He'll be doing his video on it later. But I think we absolutely would have a possibility of seeing Valance and in here and Valance in live action. So I think they're really setting up Valance to show up in live action, perhaps in the Book of Boba Fett, because he's got he would be one of those marks. He could also show up in the solo series with Alden if Alden gets to continue on with that. So I thought that was a really nice way to tie them together. And it says Valance may not survive the War of the Bounty Hunters without losing what's left of his humanity, becoming the monster he was always feared he was. And then it goes on, but Fett isn't the only threat to our unlikely hero. An assassin is stalking Valance and Dinger. Oh yeah, this is just that excerpt. So there you go. So I wanted to bring that up, show it to you all, and then tie it together. So make Solo 2 happen. The thing that could tie it all together could be This balance. So let's push for Make Solo 2 happen. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. Who else is on here? It's all from a certain point of view now in canon. That's true. Dylan Allward, hello. Oh, thanks for joining their stream. Good to see you here. So then the next is the Rangers of the New Republic. Is it canceled? I saw later today on Kessel Run Radio, their YouTube scheduled in just 30 minutes from now. KRT will be coming on at 4:30 Eastern to talk about Rangers of the New Republic. Is it being canceled? Has it been canceled? What's going on with Rangers of the New Republic? And nobody knows. Short answer. A lot of people already presume, just because it seems to be a trend, when something gets put on hold, it is dead. Now, I will counter that with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Obi-Wan Kenobi was a movie that was originally planned as a movie to go on with like Solo. They had 3 movies set up, and they were going to continue it. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi was going to be another movie that they set up, and just as these standalones. And when what happened to Solo at the box office did, then Obi-Wan Kenobi movie was shelved, but it got pulled off the shelf. It got broke up into a series, and it is in production. Oh, so it can happen, my friends. Just because Rangers of the New Republic has been shelved, or maybe it's on hold, doesn't mean that it is dead, that it's been canceled. It could be that it's going through rewrites. And one thing that we've learned, and I've talked about this, rewrites can be good. Rewrites can be really good for Star Wars, especially if they plan it out really well. You know, one thing that the Disney era of Lucasfilm has been really criticized for is pushing the sequels through too fast, and that they didn't have the story fully plotted out. Now, the theory with Rangers New Republic was it was a Cara Dune-based show talking about the survivors of Alderaan and following that and really exploring that more, which sounds really good for those that have been around since the original trilogy and saw Alderaan get blown up. That seeing that continue on would be interesting to see. And Cara Dune was setting that up to happen. If they're pulling Cara Dune, and that was a major part of it, exploring those survivors of Alderaan and the impact it had on them, then it would need to go through some major rewrites to pull, not just pull, a character out, but if the focus was about this tie into Alderaan, then they need to tie it in somewhere else, rewrite it. And yeah, it does look like it was based somewhat on Hera Syndulla and the Ghost Crew, and they need more time. So yeah, I think exactly with what's going on, they're going to rewrite it. They're going to come up with a new plot, and let's give them time. I think Lucasfilm's learned that lesson, and they're seeing it, the fruits of their labors, and that ties into Dave Filoni's new role at Lucasfilm as well. And, Dave Filoni, we found out late last week that he was given a new title last summer, new roles and responsibility around the Mandoverse, the Filoniverse, and all of that. Do you think that the Filoni actual promotion helped push Kenobi back into production? I don't know about push it into production, but I think he was given oversight with all of these live action series, and he proved himself with Mando 1. He was rewarded with a promotion, and it's so telling that Lucasfilm is so disconnected with the fans that they didn't think that would be a big press release to get them some good press. Seeing that the fans are really praising what Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were doing. People were just putting hopes and dreams and all of this into Filoni. A lot of speculation about him being promoted and given him more roles and responsibilities at Lucasfilm. And they did that, but didn't think to put that out in a press release. they didn't think to put something together without and bring him out on stage and let fans give him a little of that fandom love, that would have been great. But yet they let it go almost a year before they even update their website to show what his new role is. And we still don't have a press release. Like, we had a clarification, like, oh, calm down, folks. This didn't just happen. It happened last year. And when he was given responsibility over all of these live action Disney Plus series. And certainly the Kenobi thing is part of that, but so is Rangers. And I find it interesting that Rangers is part of what Filoni was given head over, and the speculation that maybe it's canceled. Look, let's trust that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a plan. What we saw in the works showed that they were planning things out really well, and that through this, they will give us good Star Wars. And rather than rush something through half-baked or half-changed, I think allowing this to fully play itself out is the smart thing to do. So, hello there, Anthony. Good to see you. Do you think Jason Syndulla would be part of Luke's Jedi Order? They're making Hera the protagonist of Rangers. Oh, that's another good one. Ashton, hello, by the way. That's a really good speculation. So one of the thoughts is that Rangers is actually just going to be replaced, that they're going to pull it, and that it's being replaced with Luke's Jedi Academy, with the reception that Mark Hamill got at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, how well that hit the fandom, that since they've made this change and they need to do a rewrite, that they'll just move forward with a Luke Skywalker Academy and in place of Rangers. And for me, I'd rather think about and rather than or. I don't think we have to have an or situation, just like with Solo 2. And we talked about how the Lando show is carrying that on, and perhaps we will get a Crimson Dawn show. I don't think that excludes us from having something following Han and Chewie working with Jabba and all kinds of other things. So when we get these rumors, and that they mentioned Hera Syndulla for the Rangers, immediately your thoughts go to Jason. And would you see Jason as a protagonist? I think that's a really good idea in putting him in there. But I don't know if we'll get that series. We don't have enough on it just yet. Hopefully soon we'll get more clarification of that. I think it'd be crazy not to. And last week we got a little bit of rumor that they were actually talking about signing what's his name to be Luke Skywalker. I know his name, but actually bringing him in from Marvel over to be Luke Skywalker, the guy that looks like him. You guys know his name. I just went blank on it. But that's if they do sign him. Oh, I just bleeped out. Am I back? Okay, I think I might be back. I may have been gone. So if they end up signing Sebastian Stan, Sebastian Stan, that's it. If they sign Sebastian Stan and they can move forward with Luke Skywalker's Academy, then absolutely Jason Syndulla should be part of that academy, and where he goes from there. So I'm absolutely on board with that happening. I just don't know if we're going to get it there. If we'll get him in the Ranger show still with his mother, what he's doing as far as training as a Jedi, force powers, if he even has force powers. All of those are good questions. Are you worried with how Bob Chapek is actually thinking of her in a business person in charge of Disney Pictures to replace Alan Horn? Oh, so Kathleen Kennedy. No, I'm not worried about that at all. No, I'm not worried about that at all, Anthony. If Kathleen Kennedy were promoted into a position with Disney Studios, overseeing Disney, Marvel, and Lucasfilm, and presumably Sony, Fox, and presumably Fox, then I think that's fine. Kathleen Kennedy, as an executive producer, as a studio head, could do just fine. I think where people really have kind of narrowed in is the less she gets involved with actual content creation and just does the approving projects, getting the budgets, doing the things that the studio head does, the president of the studio does. She does an excellent job. She's one of the best in the industry. There's very little negative out there about her when it comes to those roles. I would say Solo is a black eye for her from marketing and budget standpoint. But other than that, she's had a string of successes, including the stagecraft that Jon Favreau kind of pushed forward. He gave her credit for greenlighting that. She got him in to help with Mandalorian. Right? She's done quite a bit to turn Lucasfilm the right direction. She still gets tons of hate, but I would not be at all opposed to seeing her move up into a larger role over all of the studios, and perhaps Jon Favreau fill in as president of Lucasfilm. I would love to see that. If Favreau's interested in taking that step, I think that could work out really, really well. Ren Leahy. Oh, hello, good to see you. When I think Jason, when I hear Jason, I think Solo, right? I know Jason Solo, but we have Jason Syndulla, and we know that Jason Solo, as we know him from the EU, doesn't exist in canon. So we all have to kind of work on filling in what we remember, what we know. What's next? Star Wars animated show. Oh, yeah, after Visions, right? So we have Visions coming up this fall. That's exciting. I hope that we get a trailer on Visions any day. Some people were speculating that we got the Marvel trailer today. We could get a Star Wars trailer tomorrow. I've been hearing that the trailer tomorrow is likely to be on the Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson. That's probably tomorrow. If we get a Star Wars trailer at all, I don't think it'll be in the next couple days. It'll probably be some other day, but maybe next month or probably sometime in June we could get that. But Visions, we should be getting a trailer for Visions anytime. What's the next animated show I'd love to see after Bad Batch? You'd like to see Obi-Wan and Anakin in between Phantom and Attack of the Clones. In between Phantom, we'd already got that. It's called the Clone Wars. Obi-Wan and Anakin in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. That's called the Clone Wars there, Parzival. We have that. For another animated series, I would love to see animated following Return of the Jedi with the big three, right? Han Solo, Leia, and Luke. Their adventures following Return of the Jedi. I just re-listened to Alphabet Squadron on audiobook, and that book takes place right after Return of the Jedi, the destruction of the second Death Star, and you see Operation Cinder took place. That's already happened. So just shortly after Operation Cinder, the Alphabet Squadron takes place. I would love to see an animated series set in that time, maybe with the Alphabet Squadron. You got General Syndulla there. You've got Luke, Han, Leia. You've got all the pieces in place for a fantastic animated series right after that, and then Luke's Jedi Academy could be live action. Yeah, oars are for boats. Yeah. So let's see. Hey, Trinity's here. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, Trinity. Glad to see you here. I want to see young Jedi Knights, Jedi Praxium from childhood. Oh, TLJ just. Well, it runs with Phantoms. I love the Last Jedi, and it brings up another point I wanted to bring up, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Star Wars Meg has been, she puts out really good content. Not all of it is my favorite. She has some misses when the news gets low, but she is great. I love, I watch all her stuff. I'm subscribed to her and I get notifications. Watched one from today through the weekend. Almost daily, she's putting out really good content. So if you've not checked out Star Wars Meg, you should. But one thing that Meg speculated on is for those of us who do not like the sequel trilogy. Look, I love the sequel trilogy. I love the Force Awakens is a gorgeous movie. It kind of rekindled me my passion for Star Wars. The Last Jedi I adore. I think it's a gorgeous movie. I like all of it. I even like the Canto Bight scene. Oh my goodness, that's where Santa is. Now, Rise of Skywalker is my least favorite of the three, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Ren Leahy. Enough jibber jabber. Oh, Santa does all the jibber jabber. Star Wars Meg gets right to the point. So there you go. She's doing a great job. But one thing she speculated and said, look, The Mandalorian is setting up really well to be the sequels that Star Wars fans wanted. And from the standpoint of telling the story of Luke Skywalker after Return of the Jedi, that's the sequels that many fans wanted. And there's this connection back to Heir to the Empire, the old Thrawn trilogy. I don't think they can execute that trilogy as you may remember if you've ever read it, because things in the universe are slightly different. But you could bring in some elements from Heir to the Empire. You could still tell Luke's story after Return of the Jedi, and it could be the sequels, right? The sequels that fans wanted, being that you get your heroic Luke Skywalker out there, destroying droids and the most powerful Jedi in the universe. So I think Meg hit on a really good point there. Now, the thing is, and I commented on Meg's video today that telling stories through a series is the future for Star Wars. And that's my opinion. It's one that I did an interview with Thor Skywalker earlier this year. Or it was actually late last year. We talked about this as well. Being able to tell stories over a series, you can develop characters more, you can develop storyline more. You're not as hemmed in by the time frame and the delivery. You got an hour and a half to 3 hours to deliver it. Well, you could take a series and you can stretch it out and you can develop it much further. You can go 4 hours, 5 hours, or more. If these, like, even go back to Mandalorian, like each of those were like 30-minute episodes, 35-minute episodes. And over 8, you've got over 4 hours of content. That's longer than any movie, and that's just in one season. We've already had 2. So that's already 8 hours, more than 8 hours. You're approaching the sequel trilogy just in 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. Add the Book of Boba Fett, add the 3rd series of The Mandalorian, add some of these other like Rangers and other spinoffs, Ahsoka. Then you're going to far exceed in content in the Disney Plus live action in that era after the Return of the Jedi than you do in the sequel trilogy. That's on film, it's a small amount, and time-wise, it's a short amount, right? So for those folks that do not like the sequel trilogy, all of these live-action Disney Plus series are going to give you more content, better character development, all of that. For those of us that absolutely love the sequel trilogies, then movies, then this content will help uphold that as well. And I've heard this argument say that those who are sequel trilogy fans should want more and better Star Wars. Oh, amen. Santa wants more and better Star Wars. And I am absolutely thrilled to death with this news of Filoni being getting this title and the prospect of maybe Kathleen Kennedy moving up at Disney and perhaps Jon Favreau moving into her seat. I think that would be a brilliant, bright future for Star Wars and for sequel fans and non-sequel fans alike to just really get excited about Star Wars content and what they're giving us throughout all the ages. Solo 2. Make Solo 2 happen. Oh, in the High Republic, I've enjoyed those novels. I want to see the Chiss ascendancy. We were starting a hashtag on my Discord on "Show us the Chiss ascendancy" or "Show us the ascendancy." Right, I want all of that. It would be fantastic. Um, uh, Anything that we can get that's done with good storytelling, well planned out stories, with good character development, and you got some of the best directors, writers in business. I think it would be a glorious time for Star Wars. So there you go. Um, let's go up, just get caught up a little bit. Oh, I met Obi-Wan teaching a really young Anakin right after the Phantom Menace. Okay, Parzival. Fair enough. Fair enough. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a hard time about that. That's I would have thought the Jedi Academy would have been episode 7. Yeah, the problem with that, Ducky, is that George Lucas didn't do that, right? He waited too long. And it's one of the criticisms I have of George. Rather than doing the prequel trilogy when he did the prequel trilogy, he should have done the sequel trilogy. Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford were younger, and they could have done the sequels that you wanted, that many folks wanted, the Jedi Academy, them in their heyday, at the height of it. That could have been possible. But when you let 30 years go by, then it's too late. You need a younger one. You need a Sebastian Stan. You need somebody like that to play Luke Skywalker. And I think that George Lucas let that pass. So now we're stuck with, if we're going to get that time period, it needs to be animated, or we need to recast with younger actors. So, yeah. If they recanonize Mara Jade, I'll be so happy. Ashton, I think it's possible that we'll get Mara Jade in some form. Maybe not, a 1-to-1 comparison, but certainly possible to get her in there. Concession. The Last Jedi is a gorgeous movie, one of the best looking. Yes, and I love that they brought back Yoda, right? The actual Yoda puppet. The monochrome silent light speed ram was epic. Right. I agree with you. I agree. It should have gone to Akbar. Yep. If Katarn shows up on Mando, we'll get to see Luke's Academy. I hope so. I would love to see that as a live action series with Sebastian Stan. Speculation. You're Santa, so naturally you see the sequels from Optimation. Benefit of doubt. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Reefer Man. It's 20 after 4. You know what that means for Reefer Man. How will Disney Plus maintain without the Grogu cash cow? Oh, it'll do just fine. They've got other great characters in the stable that they can bring out, and one of them they're in development with right now. Right, we see it in the Bad Batch, and it's going to be Omega. Omega, people are already getting invested in her character as they develop her out. She is going to be another strong draw for Star Wars. You not only got Ahsoka, who is a big fan favorite, and many people say that she's already kind of oversaturated. Maul, people complain about him being oversaturated. You've got Grogu and you've got Omega, 2 young characters just being introduced, and we saw Jason. Look what you did to me. we we saw Caleb Dune. We saw him, a young Caleb Dune. We've got his story to be told from 2 Rebels, right? From where we saw him in the Bad Batch up to becoming Kanan Jarrus. So Caleb Dune, we've got his story to be told as well, right? Let's see. Santa, it doesn't make sense to put Kathleen Kennedy in charge of Disney films. Reading articles saying Iger and Horn were molding Kevin. Well, maybe. Anthony, I've seen some of that as well. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's either, and my speculation is, Kathleen moves up to move out, or she gets renewed and she stays. So, would you rather see her move up and out of president of Lucasfilm, or would you rather see her stay as president of Lucasfilm? I'll give you those two options. I know what option you want. I'm taking that off the table. Oh, you're stuck with Kathleen. You get her in one or the other. Which do you take there, Anthony? Which do you take? Aging left them with the best option. Yep. Omega will be the next Ahsoka type. I don't think Omega is going to be force sensitive. I do think she will be a popular character. I think she's more likely to be a Boba Fett type. And my friend who I'm waiting to see his video, Will Morgan with Meta Egg. He has a fantastic what do you call it? Prediction that we're going to see the original Boba Fett armor, right? This white armor. We're going to see that adapted to female, and that be Omega. Will Morgan with Meta Egg is thinking we're going to get another character like this with the original Boba Fett armor, the white Boba Fett armor, and that will be Omega. So, Will, we need your video, my friend. Get it out there for us. We need it. The next animated I'd like to see is following the Jedi Council when they're younger and we're Padawan becoming Jedi Masters. That's a good point. We might end up with a High Republic animated series, to tell you the truth. Who do you think took Han Solo's carbonite from Boba in the War of the Bounty Hunters? I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather see Kathleen Kennedy retire. No, I didn't give you that option, Anthony. I know that's what you want. I didn't give you that option on purpose, right? Yeah. With the toys handy, yes, I do. I keep those right on hand. Would you be hyped for a Revit show? Oh my goodness, absolutely. I did not get to play KOTOR like actively. I did when I visited friends. I've got a bit of a video game addiction issue, and I don't have a console, so I said that I won't play. But I'm familiar. I would love Omega with the white Boba armor. Yes. So. That's my friend Will Morgan at Meta Egg. And you guys, I just want to thank you for being here. I'm kind of going to wrap up because I want to go watch that Kessel Run Transmissions video. They're going to be on here at 4:30. There's got a bunch of people already waiting. I'll put the link in here. Come on now. God, I want to copy this. And I'll put it in here so that you guys can hop on over to Kessel Run right after this. Look, we do have some channel changes coming for those who got here late. On Discord, we're going to start doing a Discord stage on Friday afternoons, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about book review, and then we'll open it up for open Star Wars discussion. You guys can come on in, and we can talk live and ask these questions and throw out ideas and brainstorm together. That'll be a ton of fun. And we're working on some other collaborations in the community. We'll be on the lookout for more information on additional collaborations. I've had some wonderful time collaborating with other Star Wars content creators, and we're going to try to see if we can expand our scope and get some other folks out there. Okay. Yeah, runs with Fandoms. Look, I had a daughter and wife that were not getting the attention they needed. And being a young father and playing video games was taking me away from me being a good father. So I had to do that. So now I'm an empty nester, and now I get to talk to you guys about Star Wars in YouTube. Ducky, thank you so much. Make sure you all leave a comment if you will. Share the video out. We are working hard here to provide you guys with great content. We want to focus our content on the content here, right? We want to talk a lot about Anthony. I'd rather see you stay at Lucasfilm, and there you go. Very good, Anthony. Thanks for answering. So yeah, please, if you would like, leave a comment on the video, share it out. We're working to get up to this 4,000 hours and keep growing the subscriber base. We've kind of plateaued off, and we're flatlined here lately. We're only growing by 1 or 2 here or there. We would love to get some more momentum there. If you guys could let other folks know that we just love Star Wars here. We love talking with you all. We have a good time, and all opinions are welcome, but we don't. We're not adversarial towards one another. So hope to see you all over on Kessel Run Transmissions. And until we see you next time, my friends, Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you all. Take care. Bye-bye.